Now on Denver 7 News at 5 a.m., the state school board is giving Adams 14 another chance to improve its performance. The new conditions the district must meet to keep operating.
Former Douglas County Superintendent Corey Wise is suing his former district more than 2 months after he was fired by the school board.
When you walk out of that meeting, you're like, oh my gosh, did that really just happen? You're flipped upside down and you lose sleep, you stress.
We're getting his perspective of what happened and his thoughts on the district now.
The Jewish holiday of Passover begins at sundown. How one organization is making sure everyone has the ingredients they need for the celebratory dinner. And Christians in Colorado are getting ready to celebrate Easter Sunday with an in-person sunrise service. Jessica, have you seen the sunrise at Red Rocks yet?
I have not been able to see that.
You're new here still. You have to put that on your list to do. A tradition back for the first time since the pandemic. Thanks for joining us. I'm Nicole Brady.
And I'm Jessica Crawford. Let's bring in meteorologist Lisa Hidalgo. And Lisa, we have warmer temperatures, but we could still feel a breeze.
It's going to be a little breezy here at times, both today and tomorrow, but I'll have your sunrise service forecast there at Red Rocks coming up in just a bit. It's going to be a beautiful morning. Right now, we are looking at more red flag warnings. Fire danger remains high across a good portion of southern and southeastern Colorado today. Wind speeds this morning at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, so things died down overnight. They'll pick back up here by late morning, right around 11 to about 12 o'clock. We'll start to see some breezier conditions. It's going to be warmer though, right around 60 degrees by noon. By lunchtime, we're going to hit highs right around 65. So we have some pretty pleasant conditions. It's a warm one, mid upper 60s for most of the metro area, 40s, even some low 50s for the mountains. Mild through the weekend. Coming up again, we're going to have a detailed look at that Easter Sunday forecast and just how long it's going to stay this warm.
And right now, the drive around town for the most part looks okay. Just coming in is a crash out to the east side on E470. I'll show you that in just a second. Right now, we do have a good drive for the most part on I-70 at the Eisenhower Johnson tunnels. Loveland ski areas over there. And for the most part, I'm not seeing any too bad snow cover here across I-70. So it could be a little slick in spots for you up that way. The overall map shows you the one crash that we have just coming in right there at just north of 6th Avenue before you get to I-70 on E470. That was just being dispatched right now just a minute ago. And take a look at I-70. Had some overnight work on that east and westbound side, but all lanes are now open. Traffic's moving normally through the lowered section, but there's still a lot of work to be done over there for the next couple of months. The rest of the drive looks just fine. No other big problems for us right now.
Well, Adams 14 families and staff have a lot of work ahead of them, but for now, the State Board of Education is holding off on forcing major changes to the district. Denver 7's Veronica Acosta is live this morning. And Veronica, after a meeting yesterday, the State Board is now giving the struggling district more time to turn things around.
It is, but here's the good news. The Colorado Board of Education, they will not be closing Adams City High School. They'll be giving the school district one more chance, but it must come up with that improvement plan. And there are some conditions to this. One of those is allowing that improvement plan to be created with the help of an outside firm. So this new improvement plan, it has to be submitted by Adams 14 before the next meeting. That meeting scheduled for May 11th. If the board doesn't accept the plan, then that could mean the district gets fully taken over by that outside management firm. Despite that, district officials say they're up for what's next. They're ready to create that plan. Parents we spoke with said they're relieved the high school wasn't closed and the district was given that second chance, of course, for the sake of their kids. The agreement doesn't stop at that improvement plan, though. Adams 14 will also have to give quarterly reports to the state's Board of Education on how the plan, as well as that partnership with that outside firm, is doing for their students. In the newsroom, I'm Veronica Acosta, Denver 7.
Something will continue to follow. Thank you, Veronica. Former Douglas County Superintendent Corey Wise is speaking publicly for the first time since he was fired. He has now filed a discrimination complaint against the district. In February, the board's newly elected majority voted to fire Wise without cause before the end of his contract. They say they voted him out because they wanted to take the district in a different direction. However, Wise now claims it was because he advocated for students with disabilities and students of color.
I think the four have put themselves and the school district and the community in a tough situation, and their actions I'm disappointed in. You have dreams and you've accomplished some of those dreams, but you want to give a chance to see what we can continue to do, and when that's taken away, you're upside down. For the first time, you don't have a job. It's taken us backwards in trust, and I worry about the future.
Douglas County Schools told us it has no comment on the complaint. The Cherry Creek School District has hired Wise to be an interim assistant superintendent.
Today, the group tasked with monitoring the Aurora Police Department will finalize its community committee and its duties. IntegraSure has already created a website to help you follow its progress. It's auroramonitor.org. The group is holding its first public town hall on Tuesday to talk about the path forward. It's at 7:30 p.m. at the Aurora Municipal Center. You can also sign up to watch virtually. A Wheat Ridge police officer is out of the hospital. Officer Alan Fisher received a well-deserved round of applause from fellow officers and hospital staff as he was wheeled out. Fisher was stabbed multiple times Wednesday morning when responding to a call about a suspicious U-Haul at an RV park. The man accused of attacking him has been charged with attempted murder. Fisher's recovery will take some time, but the department says that he's in good spirits.
The Jewish holiday of Passover begins tonight at sundown. The 8-day celebration commemorates the Israelites' liberation from slavery in Egypt. We spoke to the Denver JCC about what the holiday means for families who are now able to gather, some of them for the first time since the pandemic began.
The Jewish religion and culture is one of community and communal gatherings, so it feels really good to be able to have in-person seders and celebrations and spend time with your family and friends in person.
The first 2 nights of Passover include seders, ceremonial dinners with symbolic foods and traditions. And Jewish Family Services is helping to make sure families have food for those dinners. They're handing out packages to more than 160 households. The packages include chicken and produce and staples of the seder like gefilte fish and matzah. Jewish Family Services says since the pandemic, the need for food in their community has quadrupled.
I think that the amount of hunger in the community is surprising to me still, because we're still seeing new clients every single day that haven't been to our pantry before, and it just keeps growing. I mean, the growth for pantries is just surprising still, and I just wonder how long it's going to be sustainable.
Jewish Family Services is averaging 10 new families every day at their food pantry. If you'd like to help the organization, we have a link on thedenverchannel.com.
Today is also Good Friday. Christians around the world remember the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Here in Colorado, organizers are preparing for the return of an Easter tradition. Denver 7's Colette Bordelon joins us live near Red Rocks. And Colette, sunrise services are finally back in person.
They just went virtual, but this year everyone's invited back in person to Red Rocks. It's got to be one of the best places in the state to watch the sunrise. This is video from the Colorado Council of Churches showing what these services look like when the rows of Red Rocks are packed with thousands of people. This will be the 75th year of the services at the historic amphitheater, which has been hosted here since Red Rocks opened in 1947. This year, the sun will come up right before 6:30. It's something those behind this tradition are thrilled to see together in person once again.
Because of the pandemic, we had to be virtual the last 2 years. So I think there's a real yearning to come together and be in a beautiful setting. The weather looks good, the forecast looks good, and so yeah, we're really excited to do this in person.
If you're looking for a place to celebrate Easter this Sunday, you've got some choices of stunning outdoor settings, all having sunrise services. The music starts at 5:30 in the morning at Red Rocks. Make sure you dress warmly. Try to get here early to get your spot. You can also watch online. Now, the Royal Gorge service starts at 6:30, just minutes after sunrise. Gates open at 5:30. You can walk across the bridge or take the free shuttle. Once again, be ready for a chilly morning and maybe bring some lawn chairs or blankets too. Idra Haji off Highway 285 in Bailey will be hosting a sunrise service at 6:15 at its Mountain Village Outdoor Chapel. Now, since there is a hike you have to do from the parking lot, it's a good idea to get there by 6 at least. Rides are available for those who need it. Now stay with us this morning and you'll get a glimpse of what that sunrise will look like at Red Rocks on Sunday. Live this morning, Colette Bordelon, Denver 7.
Yeah, she's right. Bundle up that morning. We're going to be likely in the mid to upper 30s there at Red Rocks by sunrise. But take a look at how fast it warms up on Easter Sunday. Mid to upper 40s as early as 8 o'clock. We'll be at around 60 by noon. Mid to even some upper 60s between about 4 and 5. It is going to be a beautiful Sunday. We'll take a closer look at the winds this weekend coming up.
Those are pretty colorful eggs right there. I can't do that.
No?
I mean, no. Right now we have a pretty good drive for us downtown. Southbound I-25, northbound moving along just fine. No big issues coming in from the north side of town. Less than 15 minutes from Thornton and Northglenn here into downtown Denver.
Colorado, of course, is known for its craft breweries, but a new industry report finds these local businesses are facing an uncertain future.
I'm John Matarese. You order a food delivered to your home and the food never shows up because it turns out the restaurant was closed. A caution before ordering food online. Coming up.